In this tutorial, we'll learn how to create a thought bubble in Inkscape using path effects. This is a continuation of the previous tutorial about creating a speech bubble in Inkscape. The first thing we're going to do is create a circle in Inkscape that will be the center of our thought bubble. Then we're going to create a few circles around it that will create its bubbly shape. Just like we did in the previous tutorial, we're going to open the Path Effects side panel, and then we'll select the center of the bubble, and we're going to add the Boolean operation Path Effect to it. As we already know, we have to copy the circle that we want to merge with the shape, then click on this Paste button, and then it will be merged. Now comes the problem. Since we have several circles, that means we need to merge all of them with our main circle. One way we could do this would be by simply adding one Boolean operation for each circle and merging them separately. This works, but it's a bit impractical when you have too many shapes you want to merge. I'll undo this because there is a different and simpler method that we can use. We're going to create a single group that contains all of the smaller circles, then we just merge the group once with the main circle. Before we do this, there is something we can do to make groups easier to understand. Let's go to the menu bar and click on Object, then on Layers and Objects. This will open a side panel that shows all the objects that we have in Inkscape. These are all the things that we can select. When we select something, you can see that the highlighted item in the panel also changes. First, we're going to select all the circles. To do this, we can simply hold the Shift key and click every circle one by one. However, in this case, it's easier to do the opposite. First, let's click and drag to select everything. After everything is selected, we can deselect only the main circle by holding the Shift key and clicking on it. Now everything except the main circle is selected. The next step is to put these circles into a single group. To do this, we right-click on one of the selected circles and then click on Group in the context menu. Working with groups in Inkscape can be a bit tricky. If we click on an empty space on the canvas to deselect everything, and then we click on a circle in the group, it's going to select the whole group. This is a problem because we may want to adjust the circles inside the group, but we can't do that if we can't select the circles individually. In order to select objects inside the group, we need to enter the group. There is a few different ways to do this. One method that we can use is to right-click on the group and then click on Enter Group in the context menu. When we are inside the group, Layers and Objects panel will stop highlighting the layer and will start highlighting the group instead. Then we can click and drag the circles individually. Unfortunately, you're probably going to run into a very annoying problem if you try to edit things this way. That's because if you select something that is outside the group by accident, Inkscape will think that you want to leave the group, and then if you try to select a circle inside the group again, it's going to select the entire group. In this case, one trick that we can use is click on this padlock icon in the Layers and Objects panel. This will lock the main circle. While the object is locked, it's not possible to select it even if we wanted to, so we won't have to worry about selecting it by mistake. By the way, another way to enter inside a group in Inkscape is to double-click the group. With these techniques, we'll be able to adjust these circles later to make our thought bubble look the way we want. For now, let's unlock our main circle. Select the whole group, copy it, select the main circle, and click on this button to link the group to the main circle. As you can see, now the whole group is merged, so it looks a bit like a thought bubble, but there is room for improvement. First, let me show you a useful trick to select the main circle when you have it merged like this. If we click on the canvas to deselect, and then we try to select the main circle, we're probably going to select the group instead, because we can't tell where the smaller circles are anymore. In this situation, normally you would just try clicking around the center trying to find the gap between the circles. And if you find it, you'll click on the main circle and it gets selected. Instead of clicking aimlessly, we can simply hold the Alt key and then use the scroll wheel. This is going to make Inkscape cycle through all objects that are under the mouse cursor. It's a very useful trick when you know that there is an object somewhere on the canvas, but it's underneath another object so you can't click on it directly. Now that we know this trick, we're going to use it to select the main circle, and then we're going to disable the path effect, so we can see the individual circles again. This tutorial is about how to make a thought bubble, but thought bubbles come in all sorts of forms and shapes. There is one shape that is easy to create with just circles that I can teach you about. To create it, the goal is to make the circles touch at the middle like this. In other words, we're adjusting these circles so that the outline of the thought bubble looks like several semicircles connected together. After we're done, we can enable the path effect again. This looks a bit off, so let's make a few more adjustments. We don't need to disable the path effect this time. We can simply enter the group while the path effect is active. After our final adjustments, it seems we've created a very neat thought bubble. Like a speech bubble, a thought bubble has a tail, so we're going to create that as well. And there is a very cool thing that we can learn about the Boolean operation path effect. Let's enter the group and create a copy of this circle. We're going to create 3 circles and place them overlapping each other. Then we're going to make them smaller and move it to a better position, and we're going to copy this and make another part of the tail. After we're done with the adjustments, we can select the main circle again and enable the path effect. As you can see, the 3 circles that we separated are merged with one another, even though they originally came from the same group. The Boolean operation path effect seems to merge all the paths in the group first, before merging the group with the main circle. This is how you create a thought bubble in Inkscape. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.